There was an entrepreneur that my business partner and I were once courting because he had a lot of great relationships in markets where we were looking to do greater business. And he was also a technologist. He had access to many companies and many entrepreneurs who were involved in technology that were important to the kinds of initiatives that we were focused on. And as we got to know this entrepreneur, we were fascinated at how he was able to build relationships with senior executives in major companies, but was not successful at pulling off anything substantial with these organizations. In fact, many times he would work his way into these organizations and then later find that he just couldn't continue, and in fact they would be at odds later. And one of the guys that worked for him, a young technologist, said to us that this entrepreneur was really good. He was very capable. He was a good networker. He was skilled at technology. But he was not good at being able to follow through. And he used the term sabotage, that this is a person who used to sabotage themselves. And I started to think about that. I had heard about people sabotaging themselves, and I never quite understood what that meant. As I began to look at him and look at what he did, and over the years, as I looked at the actions of others and the thinking of others, I realized that many people will attract the very circumstances they don't want. They will be afraid of something happening. They will be fearful of something happening, and their actions will be the very thing that attracts those things that they don't want. It's a fascinating thing. We all can be victims, so to speak, of our own self-sabotage. But there are ways to overcome this, and the first thing is to understand the signs of self-sabotage. What are those things that we might be doing that prevent us from getting where we'd like to go? I've noticed that there are three things that are pretty common to a person that will sabotage themselves. The first thing is point of view. They have a point of view that prevents them from getting into the realm of possibility. So they have this idea, they have this notion of things that they want, but they have set up a barrier around it. They've set up some circumstances that they believe are the only circumstances by which they can achieve this. So they'll say things like, yes, I would be able to do that if I had X, Y, Z. And maybe X, Y, Z is something that doesn't seem like it's achievable, that it's plausible, that for whatever reason they can't accomplish it. Maybe it involves money or some kind of resources or some kind of people or some kind of technology, and for whatever reason they can't do that, and so therefore they don't think it's possible. And because of that point of view, they don't take any action, or they take limited action, or they think that the action they've taken that hasn't resulted in them achieving what they want is all the action that they can take. So their point of view, their very point of view, limits their possibility in getting what they want. They self-sabotage themselves because their point of view prevents them from getting there. Now, usually there's another thing. And that other thing is interesting because it goes along with that point of view, and that is use of time. How do they use their time? Do they use their time productively? Do they use their time to move toward what it is they're looking to accomplish? Well, usually they don't, because their point of view prevents them from doing that. They just don't think that the time that they have available, aimed in this way, is going to accomplish what they want. And so that is another rung on the ladder of self-sabotage. The third thing that I see that's pretty common is some level of blame. Well, if I had done such and such at a certain time, maybe this would have been possible. If I hadn't lost that deal, if I hadn't lost that job, if I had more money in the bank. Now, I'm describing situations where they're blaming something else, but another common aspect of this third element is not taking responsibility for the time that's wasted, for the point of view, for the things that could have been done but were not done to achieve what they wanted. So if you are looking at something you're trying to pull together, something you want to see happen, and for whatever reason it's not happening, think about these three elements. Are you sabotaging yourself? Are you setting yourself up for failure? Are you thinking that it's something else and really it's you? Well, it's always us. We are always responsible. Not many people want to hear that, and some people don't believe that, but we're always responsible. And I'm always working on myself to figure out, how am I preventing what it is I want to accomplish? I mean, even when there are good reasons on why I can't accomplish something. What is it? What is it that I'm doing? What is it that I'm responsible for? And take responsibility and work on your point of view, and work on that use of time. Work on that sense of responsibility. You are able to have the right response, which is what responsibility is about. And what you will find is you'll start to get on a different track. You'll start to be able to see some progress, and you'll start to see some things happening for you. So get out of sabotage, get out of self-sabotage, and get on the track to achievement. Get on the track to excellence. Sometimes it's the very barrier that prevents us from excellence. We sabotage ourselves. Get out of that. That's something you can do. You can still win, as my book says. If you like this tip, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you like it. Share it with someone who needs to hear it and who will value it and who will take action on these ideas. And make sure you subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of these tips. I've got a lot more to share with you, and I'm going to keep it coming. And I hope you'll be there with me. I'll see you next time.